But that's where the word comes from. Problem actually comes from to throw for.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so a lot of people believe that the reason it comes from that is because of the sort of the integral belief of whatever you experience is kind of like your soul going, all right, we need to grow in this area. Sorry. This is going to suck for a bit, but afterwards you'll be awesome. You're like, all right. You know, and it's basically like a physical trainer saying, I know that this push-up is hard, but you need to do 2 more.
Yeah.
You know?
In time it will get easier.
Yeah, and it's like, I need to do 2 more? Yeah.
Yes.
You need to do 2 more. It's like,
you know, and they thank you for it afterwards. They hug you. Sometimes they cry.
They feel fantastic.
Yeah,
afterwards.
thank you for killing me. You're welcome.
You know, thank you. And I think that like when you're going through it, those push-ups are hard, but afterwards, like you say, you feel amazing because you did it. So you stepped through. What are some qualities of yourself that you hope your kids will emanate and model? And what are some that you hope they don't? Like, what are some things there?
I hope and you know, pray that I have raised them. And my daughter actually turned around and verbalized this to me when, you know, with my other business, when I achieved something that was pretty extraordinary. When I picked her up in my new vehicle because of my achievements, the look on her face. She looked, you know, she looked somewhat frozen in the passenger side seat. And I go, honey, are you okay? She goes, Mama. And I go, yeah. She goes, there's never, ever going to be a time where I can come to you and say there's something I cannot do. And I turn and go, no, there isn't.
I was doing so well. I didn't cry once.
That's how I thought, wow, what a huge responsibility.
Yeah, that is massive.
You know, that's how it is. And I didn't realize that was the impact it was going to have on her. But
I made it through the rape. I made it through the other stuff. Oh, geez, that's huge. I can't think of a better thing for somebody to say.
You know, and I looked at her, and you know, that was another one of my. Yes!
Yeah! No
I
kidding.
said, no, there isn't. Man. Can you imagine what that did to her? So there's nothing.
I hope she didn't say that to you while you were driving.
No,
Jeez.
she did.
You'd have to pull over,
she
man.
She did. I mean, I wanted to jump up. You can't. I'm driving.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, I almost felt like I was floating, like I was, you know, floating in the car. And I looked at her, you know, as a mother. So I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
There isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because you have to stay cool.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know, what I don't want them to learn from me is, you know, regardless of the experiences that, you know, we endure in life. And for me, I'll be honest, I've been hurt a lot. And I've been hurt a lot because I wear my heart on my sleeve. I have the spirit of a child. Yeah. You know, so I would hope and pray that, you know, that maybe they're not as, but then again, they're a product of me. So I know in that regard, they are going to be just as loving, just as welcoming, just as compassionate.
I think that's a bad thing.
But you know, what it has done is it's caused me a lot of heartache. But you know, and every time, oh no, I say, that's it. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to be more selective about who I invite to my home than a week later. Come on in.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I hope that they don't. In a sense, I hope that they do, because look at what it's done for me. You know, if anything, it's made me a better person. It's made me a stronger. Believe it or not, the number of defeats that I've had to deal with on a personal level, and this is what's really almost freakish to some people. They're like, when will she just die? When is she just gonna fall and stay there?
It becomes less likely with every defeat.
It does. You know, with every defeat, it becomes less and less. It actually gives me more life.
Yeah.
Gives me more energy. And gives me more of a drive. And so that's what I would hope going forward. That and I'm pretty certain that's what's going to happen. You know, I choose to turn every negative in my life, regardless of how big the challenge is, into a positive, and that repels a lot of people. Believe it or not.
Not the wrong kind of people.
No, I mean, yeah, those are the people that I choose to remove myself from, or remove them from my life.
Yeah.
Is, you know, at the end of the day, again, you are in control of how you live your life and how you treat your life, not how your life treats you, because what you put out is what you get back. So I hope that my children are going to be able to incorporate that into their lifestyle and not see any of the demises that they are going to be faced with. It's just life as, you know, a negative. Choose to see everything as a positive, regardless of how dramatic it may seem at the time, that everything happens for a reason. And as far as what I don't want them to learn from me, that's the only thing I would say. Maybe don't be as much of an open book as your mother is. Because for me, I mean, everything's out there. Because I no longer care, and I don't know if that sounds wrong or not, and honestly, I don't care if it does.
Fair enough.
This is who I am. This is who I'm choosing to be. And this is what works for me. It may not work for you, and if you choose that, if you decide that you're repelled by it, there's a door. It's not going to change who I am.
Well,
It's not going to affect my life in any way. And I've also come to realize, being in the position that I'm in, and the same thing applies to my children, they're not always going to like what I have to say.
sure.
They're not always going to like how I react to certain things.
But they will respect the source.
They will respect the source. And the same thing applies to the business I'm in. Not everyone's going to like me. Not everyone's going to respect me. And I'm okay with that.
Sure.
And the sense of freedom
Yeah.
that I feel, having not only feel that, but to verbalize it on a day-to-day basis, has brought more positive blessings into my life. Because I no longer give any of that other stuff any life. And that is an amazing place to be.
Well, the addiction to the approval of others is one of the
It's crippling.
biggest things, worse than drugs, worse than alcohol. That's what they say.
It is. You lose yourself, much like you do with drugs and alcohol.
Sure.
You forget who you are. And there came a time in my life, because I've been such a people pleaser most of my life, and I wanted everyone to like me, that I lost that Mitra. That Mitra that I've clung on to ever since I was the age of 12. The Mitra that saved me. To this day, I lost sight of that person because I wanted to be who this person wanted me to be. I wanted who this person wanted to be, and I lost sight of who I was. But now I stand very firm in where I'm at. And I'm going to make a lot more mistakes. And you know what?
Oh yeah, we all will.
It's going to make me a better, stronger person, and so be it. It's a life. Life is amazing because of the lesson.
Imagine how boring it would be.
It would be. Sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm sitting in the front of this classroom, with okay, now what? And then, okay, I got this. And then, the next day is another lesson. And I embrace those lessons. I welcome them.
Yeah.
Because I know through my experiences, I'm going to be a better mom. I'm going to be a better girlfriend. I'm going to be a better friend. I'm going to be a better woman, a better business owner. I mean, the list goes on. But if I was to sit here and like, oh yeah, my life's perfect, I'm perfect, everything's perfect, liar.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, if the interview had started off with, all right, these are everything, I'm 100%, this is what it is, I'd be like, all right, you know what, I have another appointment. You don't want that,
But thank God you know me well enough to know that it wasn't going to go there. And if it was, I would have expected you to stand up and just snap out of it. I want to talk to Mitra, not this person here. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was my ego. Creeps up every now and then.
Last question.
Yes.
How do you want to be remembered?